Hey, good evening, folks. And this is Dr. Richard Michael with MD VIP in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Just welcoming you to another segment, and we're going to be talking this evening just a little bit different from what we've been doing previously, where we took certain medical challenges and tried to deal with those. We'll take a little bit of a broader perspective this evening. But first of all, I just wanted to wish everybody, because this is the Christmas season, a wonderful upcoming Christmas. This is the time of year where we pause. We're thankful for family. We're thankful for relationships. We're thankful for gift giving. It's a part of our culture. And, some people think it's a little overdone. I've seen people kind of really go to the nines with this thing. And, they plan their shopping. Then there's those of us that just kind of wait till later on to do that shopping. But at any rate, gift giving is really a part of our celebration. And, they brought gifts to the Christ child. So at any rate, what I wanted to talk about this evening is perhaps it's a different kind of gift. And it's a gift that you might not think of initially. It's the gift of health. And there are many, many folks right now out there listening this evening, or whenever you hear this broadcast, they're dealing with very big, deep struggles. This pandemic has affected really everybody in many, many ways, whether it's health-wise or financially. Our area has been hard hit. And what I'd like to do this evening is to give some hope. And we'll talk about that. And in future broadcasts, and it'll probably be in a couple of months, we'll actually deal with and talk about the vaccine. And that has tremendous hope for all of us. But this evening, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit and talk about and challenge you to think about what is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to somebody that you care about. And I'll challenge you to kind of rethink this. It's maybe not a car, it's not a piece of jewelry or some clothing or something like that. It could be literally the gift of health for them. And so what I wanted to do is to just engage you. Now, in our first segment, I'll just be chatting with you. So take some notes, write down any questions that you have. In our second segment, Sandra is going to join me, and we'll take your phone calls. And we'll engage you in these topics. But, one of the things that is quite interesting in the medical field is, what makes a patient experience a satisfactory experience, or what goes into that. And, it's changed over the years. I've been in practice for over 35 years now, and things are different now. And I think everybody probably listening may have had wonderful experiences. And if you are having great experiences where you're getting your medical care now, kudos and praise God for that. But nowadays, we could just deal with this first subject, and that is waiting to see your care provider. Now, this is the brunt of a lot of jokes, and I get it. I was part of that system up until this year. And, it was amazing to me, if you're the first person in the morning and the first person in the afternoon to see your physician, you're in luck because they'll probably be on time. But as that schedule gets a little later into the morning, a little later into the afternoon, things just back up, and the system has to push some volume, and it magnifies, it multiplies. And you may be waiting 30, 45 minutes, an hour. I've heard lots of horror stories about how patients have to wait. And, as long as you're informed as a patient, you're probably agreeable to a certain amount of waiting. But, your time is very valuable as well. And, things just can get out of hand. So, it's very difficult to just kind of wait to see the doctor. Now, if your wait time was long, how about your time with your doctor? If that was a very nice chunk of time, it might be, I can put up with that. But the average encounter with the doctor now is usually below 10 minutes with that doctor. You're spending time with the nursing staff, getting put back into the room, your vital signs are taken, your chief complaint is obtained, and you're really ready to see your physician, to go over lab work, to go over issues that you're having. And literally, you may only have a handful of minutes to spend with your doctor. And that's pretty difficult. That's pretty difficult. So, I think there's a feeling of mutual stress in that environment. Everybody's kind of looking at their watch and looking at the clock, and you want to be organized as a patient. And we'll talk about maybe some ways that you can do that. But, there's a tension there, I think. And one of the worst feelings you can have as a patient, I'm sure, is just not having enough time to go into any depth on questions that you have about your medical health. If you get a lab report discussed with you at that visit, you may have questions about it, but you may realize, I only have another minute or two, and the physician is already going to be going for the door and scheduling your next appointment. So it's pretty tough when you don't have that extra time. In our current practice in the MDVIP world, if you will, our chronic follow-up time with you is 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes. Now, you'll spend maybe 5 minutes with the nursing staff, but 25 to 30 minutes basically with me. And that allows a tremendous amount of interaction time. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Quite honestly, in the medical traditional medical world right now, you're generally seeing your physician for your chronic follow-up visits, and that's important. If you have complicated case and you have multiple things going on, you want someone adept at handling complicated things, and that's fantastic. But if you have a need to come back in 2, 3, 4 weeks, it may be quite difficult actually for the staff to find an opening on that busy doctor's schedule in that short period of time. So, you may be handed off to an extender. Now, believe me, the current medical system could not work well at all without extenders being available, trained. They're very perceptive, and they're capable of dealing with your issues. But then it's a new set of eyes, and it may not be the set of eyes that saw you last time. Now, where that really comes into play is if you call for what we call an acute need, something that has just come up. You may have some stomach pain. You may be wondering if you have say a urinary tract infection. These are common things. You may have stepped off a curb wrong, injured your ankle, something like that. But when you call for that visit, like, I'd like to be seen today, I believe, well, the chance of you seeing your physician, who's very, very busy, who's got many, many chronic patients already on their schedule, is very, very difficult to see that doctor. So again, you may be seeing an extender, and you may develop wonderful relationships with those extenders. And in fact, many people actually prefer their extender rather than their physician, because the extender tends to have a little bit more time on their schedule. But again, we're back to that time element again. Now, in my practice, our standard operating procedure is this: same-day appointment for an acute need. And that's what we follow. That's our mode of operation, and sometimes the patient will say, well, I can't come in this afternoon, but I could come in tomorrow, so we'll get you in the next day. But it's reassuring, and quite honestly, as a physician, it's much more rewarding when I know pretty much what's going on with your medical care. To see you for your chronic visits, but not for your acute visit, it leaves little gaps in there. And, if the handoff is really, really good, you're told about that acute visit, but many, many times those are happening without the knowledge of the what we call the PCP, the doctor in charge. So, again, continuity of care is so welcomed by most people, and you may not, certainly in the MDVIP practice, that's what you'll be having. There's, I call them the handcuffs. And the handcuffs that are faced by a lot of the doctors that are practicing are the insurance handcuffs. And what I mean by that is, insurance is great. It's great for certain things. Cancer prevention, cancer screening. We think of things like pap smears, mammograms, colon cancer screening. These are very, very important things. And usually insurance does a very good job with those. Vaccinations, immunizations, insurance does a very good job covering those. But where they tend to fall a little flat and have a gap is in the realm of cardiovascular health. And I'll use an example. Just running a simple EKG. Now, if you come into an office, a medical office, and you say, I haven't had one in 5 or 10 years, and I've read a lot about how cardiovascular deaths are, up, and they're prominent. They're the leading cause of death in our country. Could I just have an EKG? Are you having any problems, any symptoms? No, I just would like to have one on file. Well, that will be a challenge getting that through your insurance company, believe it or not. And that's just one example. So, I guess what we're always doing is looking over our shoulder, and the patient's doing a little bit of that too, because the last thing you want me to do is you come up with a big surprise and say, gee, I thought this was covered by my insurance. It isn't. Now it's out of my pocket. So it can get a little adversarial there, and that's the last thing that a doctor and a patient want between each other. So, there are those handcuffs, but in our MDVIP practice, I'll be explaining a little bit. We'll start that now, and we may have to go into the second segment a little bit. But I'll explain how we kind of take those handcuffs off, at least for one visit. And that's a very, very important visit. So we'll talk about that shortly. I want everybody to kind of think, and I'll be setting this up for our second segment, but can you imagine driving your car around and you have duct tape over your gas gauge, or maybe over the entire panel? Where, if a red light comes on and it starts blinking, or your gas gauge, the light comes on and you're near empty, can you imagine not seeing those warning lights? Well, that's in a way what's happening with cardiovascular health, is you have to have symptoms. And you'd hate to be driving down the road and your first symptom is car just stops, it's run out of gas. That's not a great way to drive your car, and it's probably not a great way to have your health charted in terms of charting your course for your health. So we'll come back in the second segment, but be ready. We'll talk a little bit in that second segment, and then we'll gather your phone calls for your questions. So I think we'll be going to break very shortly, but stay tuned.
I'm Daniel Moss, owner of Cornerstone Funeral Home, and I'd like to invite you and your family to give our family an opportunity to serve you in your time of need. And we offer a full line of funeral services, everything from visitations to graveside services to cremations on site with a live crematory, as well as a banquet hall to meet the catering needs of our families that we serve. We offer catering service, we offer refreshments prior to visitations and services of our family, and we want to invite you to come and experience the difference here at Cornerstone Funeral Home.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sandy Robertson.
And I'm Jennifer Robertson.
From our family of viewers, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I came to the emergency room because I was having what seemed to be an episode of AFib. I was very, very scared and wasn't sure exactly what was going on. They told me that they were going to do a catheterization. I was just totally blown away. The kindness, the compassion, the nurses, I was treated better than I've ever been treated in my life. I was just so excited that I could do it here at home at Nash UNC.
Your success is our goal. From your first class through graduation and beyond, online, in person, we're here for you. Spring classes start January 7th. Apply today at edgecombe.edu. Get more than an education. Get the edge. Edgecombe Community College.
This Christmas, give the gift that lasts a lifetime, the gift of music from Redfish Music. With locations in Rocky Mount, Wilson, Greenville, and Goldsboro, Redfish Music has the top brands in music at rock-bottom prices, locally. Merry Christmas from Redfish Music.
If finding money for Christmas presents this year has got you down, don't worry. We've got your back at Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun. Cash loans for Christmas are our specialty. If you need money, come see us. Find a gift for anyone on your list or something special for yourself. Just look at our display case for gold, silver, and diamond jewelry. Check out our electronics gun section and our collection of beautiful estate jewelry. We specialize in new and used guns. Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun, serving you for over 25 years. 443-1668, 2522 Sunset Avenue, Rocky Mount.
Well, it's that time of year again. Open enrollment for health insurance now through December the 15th. I'm Gus Tullis, and we can help you navigate the affordable healthcare marketplace. There is no service fee, and all plans provide free preventative care. We can help you understand all the options in the marketplace and assist you with enrollment in the plan that works best for you and your family. You can save on costly medical services by enrolling in the Affordable Care Act plan today. Call Gus Tullis Insurance at 937-6913 and get covered today.
Experience Christmas at John's Gifts and Furniture. Decorations, wreaths, trees, Christmas candles, lanterns, and fragrances. And if you want to make your mantle beautiful for the season, John's friendly staff can show you how. Don't forget to order your Christmas bows now. Everything designed in-house. We have many great collectibles such as Buyer's Choice Carolers, Karen Didion, and Christopher Radko. Visit our new addition, John's Boutique, where you will find great designers such as Clara Sunwoo, Frank Lyman, Tyler Bow, and Consuelos and Hobo Bags. And ladies, check out our beautiful designer jewelry by John Medeiros, Susan Shaw, and Julie Voss. John's Gifts and Furniture, family owned and operated. We can decorate your house, and we can decorate you.
At Badcock Home Furniture and More, Steve found the perfect mattress, and Sue found everything else she needed to feel cozy and comfortable. Give yourself and your loved ones the gift of better comfort and sleep. Save up to 50% on select bedding and more. Plus, choose from other year-end mattress offers, all with no credit refused. Get the best bedding deals of the year, only at Badcock's Gift of Sleep sale. For details, visit badcock.com.
Dr. Michael, I just want to say thank you for first, thank you for letting me be on your show. And second of all, thank you for bringing MDVIP to our area. Because I've heard about it in other areas from other folks. And I said, well, gosh, that would be a really good thing. And I just never thought about it. And here it is. You brought it here. So we're fortunate.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to bring this concept to our area,
yes,
really. So
it really
I've
is.
been excited to do it.
Well, I wanted to ask you about how does the physical work, the executive physical. Can you explain how the executive physical works?
Sure, be happy to. We do it in two parts. Usually the gap between those two parts is it can be as short as 1 week. It's usually about 2 weeks between the two parts. So part one, you'll be spending about an hour with certified medical assistants in my office, Bridget and Grayson. And what you will be doing is going through quite a series of exhaustive questionnaires. Some of these questionnaires will deal with mental health, relationship health. So they may be questionnaires that you've never done before.
Right.
But we're trying to really find out about your total health. But
the more you know, the better it is for the patient.
Well, that's right. And sometimes people are reluctant to talk about certain things. But then you'll be spending time doing various tests. Now, some of these tests will be involving actually measurements of circulation. There'll be a battery of blood tests that you'll be getting. An EKG, we mentioned the EKG earlier in the program, and you'll actually get this EKG that we need. But there's a host of different tests, and really you're an hour with them. Now we ask that people stay fasting for 8 to 12 hours before because of the types of tests that we're going to be doing. This is one of the most interesting tests I think that I've enjoyed doing is what we do. We do a body composition analysis. Now, everybody's accustomed to getting your vital signs taken, and one of your vital signs is your weight. And but this is more than just weight. We actually measure your basal metabolic rate. So if you ever wanted to know, what do I burn calorie-wise, just sitting at a chair, reading the paper, at a computer. A lot of people all day long, that's what they do. And you may be curious as to how many calories you burn. Well, this will accurately tell us both what that is.
That is very interesting.
It really is. It really is. And we can track that serially so that when you come in, if you're engaged in trying to lose weight, you want to lose fat, not muscle mass.
Okay.
Because in the end, if you lose muscle mass, your metabolic rate will go down, and if you're eating the same calories, you'll start gaining your weight back. So it's quite an interesting piece of equipment that we'll use. So that's done at that particular time. Then approximately 2 weeks later, now I've been sifting through all that information, and literally some of the blood tests may take more than a week at a national reference laboratory.
Okay.
Now these blood tests, quite honestly, are ones that I almost never did in my traditional practice. And one of the reasons was because insurance would have done that.
Right.
And it would have come out of your pocket, and you wouldn't be happy with me. So, but now the handcuffs are off during this particular examination. So we can order these tests. Now, these are like those blinking lights that I mentioned on your dashboard. And when you come back in, I look at a composite of all of these tests, combined with what I know about you, combined with the physical exam. And at part 2, believe it or not, we booked that appointment for 90 minutes.
Wow.
90 minutes with me. Okay? Probably a short period of time of that, 10 to 15 minutes, is done doing the physical exam. But then we adjourn to my office, and we spend the next chunk of time going over your results and really putting it in context so that you have a good idea of what's going on. You know, it's amazing, honestly, because, again, many of these tests are ones we wouldn't normally do. And we've uncovered a lot of different things during that 90-minute exam. You know, time is precious. Time is precious, and it's precious for the doctor to have that with you as a patient, but it's also precious for the patient to have that with the doctor.
Right.
You know, some of the things, honestly, that we've uncovered, one person, we uncovered a highly deadly skin condition that would have really wrecked their lives badly and probably could have killed them. But we had time to go through and do a thorough examination rather than just a cursory one. Some of the things we've uncovered, actually 2 patients have come into the program who did not know they were diabetic. Had no clue.
And it's so important to know that so that you can do something about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've uncovered multiple people who are vitamin D deficient. Now, that's bad anytime,
right?
But especially, folks, during COVID season, because one of the differentiators between people who get sick with COVID but make it and they're okay versus the people who have a major struggle, may have to be hospitalized and worse, it seems that vitamin D deficiency is one of those key elements that we're finding. Wow. Now, if you don't know you're vitamin D deficient, how can you help yourself? And you know, vitamin D deficiency, you can't just walk into the doctor's office and say, hey, I read about this, can you check my vitamin D level? I say, yeah, we can check it, we can draw the blood test, but your insurance won't cover it.
Right.
Okay? And right there, that raises a barrier, like, well, I don't know if I want to do that then. So part of our program, that is automatic in your lab battery of tests. You know, prediabetes is rampant, and we're finding many, many people who are insulin resistant. Folks, if you remember back our first broadcast when I had Dr. Cromwell with me, we talked about insulin resistance being so key to our future health.
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that is very, very important, and it's important to uncover it. But it's also important, as we uncover these different things, to be able to do something about them.
Absolutely.
You know, it's one thing to be told you have this condition, good luck, goodbye, and we'll have to talk about that in another 2 or 3 months. Read a handout. That's maybe not the most rewarding interaction there, but to be able to actually sit down and discuss, well, what are the ramifications of this? You know, what can I do? Is it only a medicine that I have to take, or are there other options that I have? And quite honestly, you know, talking about lifestyle options is a lot harder. It takes a lot more time.
Oh, absolutely.
There has to be more give and take during that, rather than, here, I'll write this prescription, take that.
Exactly, exactly.
You know?
And it's wonderful. To me, it's great that there are options. And I want to go back to the vitamin D thing. You know, I think about this, and you're saying this is not covered, but I think about that dress that I really didn't need. Why don't I spend that on my health? Did I really need that dress? Did I need that jewelry? Did I need that? No, I need the vitamin C or D.
Vitamin D.
D or whatever. So we need to think about those things.
Yeah, I think it's really important how we value our health. So, you know, we've uncovered an awful lot of things. You know, one of the things that we've uncovered, and it happens when I see a lot of these markers. We test for inflammatory markers in the body. And when we see a lot of these going off on the lab tests, it raises suspicion. suspicion that there could be inflammation in our arteries. Now, part of the process of building plaque or buildup in our arteries is inflammation. It's a part of that process. And if I see those red lights going off, I usually will tell the patient, I'm concerned about this. We may need to do a subsequent test.
Right.
And folks, that's where I brought Dr. Cromwell in.
Yes.
Okay. And he's a world-class expert, and I've negotiated for him to come to Rocky Mount rather than you have to drive to Raleigh to his regular practice. And I've also negotiated his fee. You know, you spend 1 hour with a world-class expert, and I can't tell you how it has changed lives already. When you sit down and you did not know that you had a problem, but now you see something, you see the pictures, and you see plaque building up, you know, we can, the good thing is, the bad thing is you've got plaque, okay? But the good thing is it hasn't gone off. The bomb is ticking, but it hasn't gone off.
Right.
We can do something about this. Let's work on this together so that 3 years from now, when you get the same study, that plaque has not increased in size.
Right.
That's very, very important. And you know, quite honestly, with a lot of the deaths from flu, they've done this study in the past, and in past cases of flu, when people would succumb to post-flu death, when they went and looked at those deaths and they did autopsy studies, they actually found that it wasn't an overwhelming lung infection from the flu. It was plaque that had ruptured.
Oh, wow.
These people they were susceptible to having a heart attack or a stroke, but the massive inflammation from the viral infection, in this case, in the past flu, just regular flu, caused those plaques to rupture.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, folks, we can have some bad stuff going on and not know it at all. And your doctor won't know about it if we don't look. You know, the idea of the MDVIP is to take the duct tape off of your dashboard so you can see the indicator lights. And when they start coming on, then all hands on deck, and we can do something about that. So that's one of the rewarding things is actually finding that in people who, some of them I'm quite surprised because they are doing all the right things, they're healthy, they exercise, they try to follow the right dietary patterns, and then some I'm not surprised.
Right.
You know, but and we're even finding plaque now in mid 30-year-old somethings.
Wow.
So, but they have a chance, and the patients have a chance to change the needle.
Absolutely.
You know, they can move the needle if we know about it.
Well, prevention and, you know, just knowing and being able to, like you said, do something about it before it gets to a point where it's just too late. It's everything.
Right.
It's everything to your quality of life.
It is. It is. And so, you know, the rewarding thing for me is to already be seeing people making lifestyle changes. You know, I'm having people come back in 4 weeks in, 6 weeks in. They're losing weight because of we're telling them to do that. They are motivated to make changes that they normally wouldn't have done, perhaps, if it was just a number on a piece of paper. But when you see what's going on internally, you're a lot more motivated. And, you know, part of it is just having time to talk with your doctor. You know, let's use some examples. We have plenty of time to show illustrations, to talk about it. You know, one of the fears that people have is just not knowing, you know, just not knowing. Not having the time to address those fears. You know, if it is a medication, one of the reasons people don't stay on their medicines is because maybe it's cost, but they just don't understand, or they're scared of side effects. Right. And you know, what we're finding is that lifestyle, when we have time to talk about it and you have time to ask questions, I didn't quite get that. Could you give me more explanation? We're not rushed.
Right.
We have plenty of time.
That's amazing. That is amazing. The time factor in this is amazing to me.
It really is.
Because you do want to spend time with your doctor. You want your doctor to know you. You know, when I call my doctor, you know, you want Dr. Michael to say, yes, you know, he knows your history, plenty, as he said, plenty of time spent with you, and it makes you feel good not to be rushed out of the room. It really does.
Well, and we have time to follow up on it.
Yes.
So it's so rewarding to see people making those changes, and then to see the numbers change, the markers that we were benchmarking, you know, to see those changing. It's really rewarding because we're making a difference in people's health, and that's what this is all about.
How often do the patients go back for you to check their status to see if they've lost the weight, or if they've done what they should, or if it's made a difference?
It's individualized in each case because some people are at a different stage.
Right, sure.
You know, and there's more urgency in it. Now, one of the great things about our practice is it's not built on volume, okay? So if I need to see you back in 4 weeks because you didn't want a medicine, but you wanted to try some things that didn't have anything to do with medication.
Right.
So we may see you back in 4 to 6 weeks. Well, you're seeing me again.
Right.
You're stuck with me.
You're actually seeing your doctor.
You're seeing me. And what we do is we just take up on that. Where we bookmarked last time, we take right up with it, and then we can continue on. Now, sometimes it'll be 2 to 3 months, because some of the things that we're tracking are a little bit longer out there. So, but it's exciting to be able to see people back at appropriate intervals, and I'm the one doing the seeing.
Absolutely.
And we have continuity of care in that way, and you know, they're hearing that story, and if I have to repeat it, if I have to modify it a little bit because it wasn't understood, we can do that.
Right. Well, we're going to take our break, Dr. Michael, if that's okay. Come back, and we want to hear from you. 407-1111. Give us a call. You can ask Dr. Michael a question. We'll be right back.
Safe and secure. These two words are simple yet powerful. In order to feel this way, you should know that you have the tools necessary to provide safety and security for yourself and your loved ones. As with any tools, learning how to properly use them is best learned from experts who we know we can trust. Experts who have a proven track record and a commitment to serve and protect. Enroll now in Sheriff Keystone's North Carolina Concealed Handgun Carry class, taught at the CPF Training Center in Rocky Mount. Sheriff Stone utilizes a first-in-class classroom environment and indoor firing range. This ensures a training experience that is welcoming to both first-time firearms students and those with more experience. An attentive staff that takes time to teach students the legal requirements of becoming a permitted concealed carry citizen. In addition, Sheriff Clee Atkinson teaches students situational awareness, self-defense, and skills needed to avoid becoming a victim. As you know, Sheriff Stone and Sheriff Atkinson have committed their lives to serving and protecting. There is a reason Sheriff Stone and Sheriff Atkinson's class book in advance. Come learn from two of the region's most seasoned and professional public servants. Safety and security, two simple but powerful words that can be a part of who you and your family are. Call 252-813-8898. Register today.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sandy Robertson.
And I'm Jennifer Robertson.
From our family viewers, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Your success is our goal. From your first class through graduation and beyond, online, in person, we're here for you. Spring classes start January 7th. Apply today at edgecombe.edu. Get more than an education. Get the edge. Edgecombe Community College.
What makes Premier Equipment Company premier? Our employees. People trained in the latest technology. People who love our customers and take pride in our products and service. People who love a job well done. With 2 locations to serve you in Infield and Rocky Mount, we're easy to find and easy to do business with. Premier Service, Premier Parts, Premier Employees, Premier Equipment. Now selling Massey Ferguson at our Infield location.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, here with this year's Holiday Trend Report. First, make a statement with diamond necklaces and over-the-top earrings. Bold jewelry is in. Next, express yourself with personalized jewelry, symbols, and initial pendants. Lastly, elevate your look by mixing your wallet-friendly jewels with your most treasured gems. Visit us in-store or online to shop these must-have holiday trends.
At Badcock Home Furniture and More, Steve found the perfect mattress. And Sue found everything else she needed to feel cozy and comfortable. Give yourself and your loved ones the gift of better comfort and sleep. Save up to 50% on select bedding and more. Plus, choose from other year-end mattress offers, all with no credit refused. Get the best bedding deals of the year, only at Badcock's Gift of Sleep sale. For details, visit badcock.com.
This Christmas, give the gift that lasts a lifetime, the gift of music from Redfish Music. With locations in Rocky Mount, Wilson, Greenville, and Goldsboro, Redfish Music has the top brands in music at rock-bottom prices, locally. Merry Christmas from Redfish Music.
Well, I have really enjoyed being on the show with Dr. Richard Michael, MD VIP, this evening. Now, MD VIP stands for, let's go with that again.
Good question. MD, value in prevention.
Wow.
So that's what it stands for, value in prevention.
And it is value in prevention. That is the truth.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I'm just so glad that we have this here. So explain, Dr. Michael, what if you, in the middle of the night, what if I get sick?
Sure.
What happens with
All
this?
right. So you have my contact information. So you can actually, and it's happened, you can get a hold of me right then.
Wow.
So,
call your doc in the middle of the night. And where else can you do that?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. So,
you don't want to make a habit of it, though.
No.
Only
please.
if it's necessary.
Yeah. If it's a rash you've had for 2 months, wait until the morning.
Yeah, please.
But seriously, if folks, there's a comfort in knowing that we're there.
Yes.
So again, I'm the one fielding that phone call. The only time that it won't be me is if I'm on a missions trip overseas, and then I'll have somebody covering for me.
Well, bless you for doing that. So we won't hold that against you.
Okay.
That's for sure.
All right. But it's after hours on the weekends.
Wow.
They have my contact information. And quite honestly, Sandra, that was probably one of the biggest gulps going into this, because that's not something that doctors do. And I was wondering, oh boy, is that going to be an issue? And quite honestly, it has not been an issue.
Right.
Patients are very considerate. They take good care of themselves. They know what the parameters are. And if I get a call from them, I know it's important.
Wow, that's very interesting. So, and you can give Dr. Michael a call, 407-1111. And you can also email. You can email. There's the email address on the screen. You can email Dr. Michael at bpridgeon@rmfmc, which is Rocky Mount Family Medical Center.com. So you can always email your questions to Dr. Michael.
So, I think as we kind of have talked about the value of the MD VIP concept, hopefully that's rung a few bells. If you're, completely satisfied with where you are, stay there. I'm getting calls now from people moving to the area.
Oh, really?
And they can't get a doctor.
Oh, wow.
They can't get a doctor because many of the practices, the doctors we're overworked.
Right.
We have more than enough patients to have to deal with, and new people are being told, well, you can come to the practice, but you may have to end up seeing a extender first.
Right.
So I fielded a call today from someone who's coming to our area from Pittsburgh. And so, I just kind of explained to them that this MDVIP may not be for everyone, but for those that want that type of relationship, and really it is relationship, Sandra.
Yes.
It is relationship. It's relationship with my staff. Bridget and Grayson are my certified medical assistants, and Bridget's my office manager. And they even have time with patients. What we've seen is as patients come into our suite, they feel comfortable. It's not like a regular doctor's office, I can assure you. And they have had time to engage with patients. And this can be a wonderful time of the year, Christmas.
Yes.
But it can also be a lonely time of the year.
Yes, it can.
And what we found is, not only do I have more time with you, my staff has more time with you. And we found patients opening up to my staff. And just, some hurt, some loneliness, and they've just, we've found that they are gravitating, they want to come there and just make a few phone calls.
Sure.
They feel a warmth, they feel an acceptance there that is unlike other places.
That means a lot. That means a lot right there.
It really does. So, we encourage that. We want to all develop relationships with the patients, and that's part of that.
Right. Well, my mom always taught me, don't lie. But don't lie to your doctor and your accountant. Do not. Tell them the truth. So, and that's what it's all about. The relationship you develop with Dr. Michael, and letting him know everything about you so he can assess and make you very wholesome.
Yeah, and it's, again, it's such a rewarding thing. I wasn't ready to retire, but I was ready to stop the frantic pace. There's a big difference for a doctor to see 24, 25 a day.
Yes.
Versus, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
There's a lot more of me emotionally and physically and mentally.
Right.
And I can be much more engaged and come back the next day and say, I feel great about what I did today.
Right.
Look what we did. I talk to my staff. I say, you are making a difference in this person's life because look what we've uncovered. We've uncovered this, we've uncovered that, and we have a chance to make a difference. And that's just rewarding in medicine.
Absolutely.
It really
It's
is.
gotta be.
It really is. So, but again, this is a different kind of concept. The concept of MDVIP, remember we talked about that the handcuffs are off. We can, both the patient and the doctor, go into this executive examination and we don't have to look over our shoulders.
Right.
Now, the cost to be in this practice, well, think about your favorite specialty coffee.
Right.
Order that every day. And some people do love their specialty coffee every day.
Yes.
That's what it will take to be in this type of practice. And, nationwide, the rate with which people who have tried it 1 year, the rate with which they re-up and they want to come back for the second year is over 90%. Wow. So it's really, truly such a wonderful, different kind of experience than people have had before, that they say, I want to keep this going. I value this. And I think you pointed out a question earlier. I mean, honestly, I think one of the greatest gifts you can give anyone is the gift of health.
Right.
You know, people talk about a right. We could debate on that. But a gift is something you can give somebody.
That's right.
And, you know, we've seen in our practice, I've seen this happen where, you know, spouses are involved, they're giving the gift to the spouse. They're giving now that gift to their adult children.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because of what they have seen the practice do for them.
Right.
And honestly, we're finding that that's a good move. So, you know, in this holiday season,
yes,
I would just encourage you all, think, pray it over. You know, if you're interested in the MDVIP and this has piqued your interest, you can call the number 451-7043. 451-7043. That's our office number. And
let's put that up, Lee, so we can read that out again, Dr. Michael.
451-7043.
And we'll take our 407 number down now. But Dr. Michael, okay, so you pay one fee for a year, and you go, if I have to go 10 times to you, well then I have to go 10 times and I pay one fee. Is that correct?
That's correct. And you want to keep your insurance, whatever that is,
Yes.
Medicare, Blue,
Yes.
commercial, because for your chronic visits, you know, that's going to cover that. For acute visits, heaven forbid if you have to go to emergency room, you know, we try to keep you out of there.
Yes, I hope
We
so.
try to keep you out of there. But you want to maintain your insurance that you have. But yeah, that one fee covers that. We try to, when you sign up, we will try to structure your executive exam early in that 12 months because I really want to find out what's going on under the hood.
Yes.
Let's look under the hood.
Yes.
Let's not just wait to hear something wrong. Let's look under there. And that way, if we do uncover things, we have a chance to action those out over the ensuing months.
Wow.
So that's
Interesting. Well, this has been fun. We've learned a lot tonight about MDVIP. For those of you who do know Dr. Michael, well, now we know where he is and what he does. He's still at the same location. He's on the second floor. And you can certainly call the number 451-7043 for an appointment, or you can email your questions to B. Pridgeon, which is Bridget, his assistant, at rmfmc.com. So there's no reason you can't get in touch with Dr. Michael, and if you can't, you call me and I will make sure you get in touch with him. So anyway, this is a great thing. It's a great concept brought to Rocky Mount, and he'll take patients anywhere surrounding the area. Doesn't have to be Rocky Mount. Nashville, Tarboro, come on.
my first patient that enrolled. They live in Fayetteville.
Oh wow! Well, okay.
They live in Fayetteville. So,
interesting.
So at any rate, so you can be a little bit of ways. You don't have to be right
Yes.
in town. But we just welcome anyone that's interested. And you know, although you've had some opportunity to hear about it this evening, you can schedule a consult with me, and my staff would be happy to do that. You know, we encourage people to come for that consult because, you know, you get a chance to meet my staff, who I'm very, very proud of, and you get to see our facility, which is, again, it's a breath of fresh air. It's different. I think from the moment you walk in, you'll feel a difference there. And so, you know, we would encourage people that are interested to give us a look. And again, especially at this time of year, think about that gift of health that is priceless.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Dr. Michael. And we look forward to seeing you in January. We'll let you all know. We'll send out Facebook messages to let you know when Dr. Michael's going to be here. So we hope you'll get your questions ready for next time for Dr. Michael. So make it a great night and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.